Good morning. It's a beautiful misty morning here in Snowdonia in Wales, and this is a short video on how to use a gas burner with a simple attachment for camping just to make some breakfast. So I'm going to take the stove. This had a cap on it that I've just taken off, and then after that I'm going to take my stove top. This one is from Vango. It's a cheap lightweight stove which I find really useful, similar to the MSR Pocket Rocket. And then that just literally screws onto the top of the stove. So just make sure that it's properly aligned and then screw that on. Don't worry if a tiny bit of gas escapes. It shouldn't do too much, but just do that as quickly as possible. The next thing is to pull out the legs on the top of the stove and then find a nice stable bit of ground to put your stove top on, which shouldn't be too close to your tent. And then this is the valve where you actually turn the gas on and off. So in this case, if I turn it towards me, that's turning the gas on, and if I turn it away from me, that's turning the gas off. Simply put, next thing, get yourself some water or whatever else you want to put on your stove top. This is a little Tangia kettle that sits quite neatly on top. So that's just ready there. The next thing is to find some matches or some other lighter. I keep these in a plastic bag to make sure they don't get wet. As you can see, it's a bit of a damp morning here. And then taking the match, all you need to do is light this, let it take in your hand for a bit. I use the long matches for a bit of extra safety, and then turn the valve to get the gas going. Okay, so that is now going, and you probably can't see the flame because it's really clear gas flame. But what I'm going to do then is, whilst the gas isn't too high, get my kettle, just pop it on top, make sure everything's nice and stable, and then turn the gas up. And then it should only take a couple of minutes for that kettle to boil, and I'm going to use that to have my breakfast, which this morning is this delicious freeze-dried kind of porridge, very nice, from Adventure Food, quite sweet. And then I've also got some lovely coffee in a bag, which I find super helpful for going on camping trips. Really nice coffee, makes a difference to your instants, and these are also compostable, so good for the environment. And then I'll have that in my titanium mug, and that will be one very happy day. Just to show you what the coffee sachet looks like. Smells so good. And that's my little Snow Peak mug. So beautiful the way the mist is lifting off the hills. It's just gorgeous. Okay, and the kettle's steaming away there now, so that looks like it's all done. Turn the gas off. And then that water's ready to use for my breakfast. And I'll just make my coffee with the rest of the water in the meantime. Perfect. Make sure your stove top cools down a bit before you try and unscrew it and take it off the gas canister for storage. And I'm now going to sit here and enjoy the view. Happy travels.